For that reason, I've chosen the curses of the parsha, the portion of the week. The curses are so horrific. The destruction of the people, the destruction of their cities, the dangers that lurk in every byway, the animals that are poisonous, the rabid dogs, even the cattle filled with all kinds of diseases. You would think they have mad cow disease, and they bite and kill because they are sick animals as a result of the events that have taken place. And so God is warning us of hunger and disease, of being hounded and persecuted and killed and burned and raped and beaten and humiliated, as well as finding that our own livestock are the most dangerous thing for us. The people in our own household are our own enemies. Children are victimized by their parents in the most horrific way. And this is foretold. This is the portion of the week. The main focus is the warning. If you listen, you will be blessed. And if not, there are 49 horrific things that are going to happen, that actually did happen. And so what are the approaches to these things? Approach number one to understand the curses is to understand that God is just, and that everything that happens is for a reason. The curses come when we have gone beyond our limit. We've gone beyond what God can tolerate. God can no longer tolerate our behavior. And so these are punishments as retributions for our sins. And as long as we keep sinning, there will be further retribution until we learn the lesson. How are we supposed to learn the lesson? Well, God's going to send us great people, prophets, and great men or great women teaching us the right way. And it's up to us to learn to do tshuva. That's approach number one. Tit for tat. Second approach is that man's destiny, man's hope, man's purpose is to develop into a different kind of human being, to become a person of control, to become a person who is master of one's emotions, who is thoughtful and understanding. And the sins that are enumerated are sins of a person out of control, of a person who is not thinking. We live in such a time, we've always perhaps lived in such times, but never to this degree of being mesmerized by the physical world because we have such access to it. It's one thing living in a ghetto and imagining yourself being like the Gentile across the street with all of his freedoms. It's quite another living in a free country where you can have everything you want. The less Jewish you are outwardly, the more stuff you can get, the more successful you can be. Tremendous, tremendous tantalizer for the Jew. And that's what's happened, at least in the Jewish mind. Jewish people thought they couldn't succeed without desecrating the Shabbos. Till after World War II, a whole bunch of Chassidim, old world country people came. Refugees from World War II without a quarter in their pocket. Became multi-millionaires and even billionaires. some even in the Forbes 400. The whole Reichman family, Orthodox Jews, multi-billionaires. At one time, they were the richest men in the world. So you don't have to be irreligious to be successful, but that was the story that people fed to you when you came to this country. You can't be so Jewish. So you're supposed to be in control. You're supposed to be thoughtful. You're supposed to be studying the Torah. Torah is supposed to give you wisdom. No Torah, no wisdom. All you do is follow the ways of your sexual desires, of your passions. What's the end result of that? The end result of that is a person out of control. A person's not philosophizing. Yeah, the only thing you philosophize about is the Democratic Party. You see how far that's gotten the Jewish people now. And so, according to Maimonides, the reason for the curses is that this is a correction, it's punishment. It's a correction for extreme behavior. When a person is sick, you need to give the person a medicine. And if the person somehow or other has disrupted his entire biological system, the person has become addicted to sugars. The left likes that. White sugars and white flour is the root of all evil. You have Twinkies' defense. Person has gone out of whack. Person has lost his bearing. So when a person is extremely sick in one way, in order to cure him, you've got to bend him the other way till he can get balanced. And so the curses are corrective. They're not a punishment. It's not tit for tat. It's not God taking revenge. It's the correction of the psychology of the person. And the question is, have we learned our lessons? The Holocaust happened. Did we learn our lessons? No. The Holocaust was just blah, blah, blah. The state of it. Nobody thinks that perhaps this was God's way of trying to correct us. Oh, well, how come religious people, they all want to suffer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, a lot of religious people suffered. So did a lot of non-religious people suffered. But the Jewish ideology, the Jewish daily life was not correct. It was out of kilter. We were totally immersed in our financial, physical survival. Proof of that is that from those very same countries where we were very religious, when we came to this country, most of them ditched it all. How come? The answer is the religion was outward. The concern, the main concern, was survival, economic survival. And so when a person is too much in one way, there has to be a counterbalancing. Economics isn't the only thing that will save the Jewish people. And I guess what? Israel isn't the only thing that's going to save the Jewish people. Israel can be destroyed in one day. Just a couple of Iranian nukes. Just a prime minister who's willing to give in to Obama. And you have the destruction of the land of Israel. And so, the only thing that can save the people of Israel is a re-evaluation of what the Torah has to teach us, and that is, learn to be a master of self. And you can only learn to be a master of self if you follow the rules of the Torah. That's how they were given. That's the nature of those commandments. And afterwards, once you've mastered your emotions, you can then go into the secrets of the world, including sciences, the philosophies, and the Kabbalah, and see the secrets that God has put in this world and beyond our world.